Whatever shit, Timmy's here. Now, here is my throwback segment where I talk to films that turns 10, 20, and 30 this week. Alright, now there's a lot here to talk about. Now, the film's turning 10 years old. We got the film adaptation of Need for Speed. Now, of course, this is based on the very popular video game franchise of the same name, starring Aaron Paul, who you might remember from Breaking Bad fame. Now, if you guys don't know much about the story here, uh, it's it stars Aaron Paul, who plays street racer Toby Marshall, who sets off on a race crossing country as a way to avenging his friend's death at the hands of his rival racer Dino Brewster. Now, they were really trying to make like a new Fast and Furious franchise out of this. It didn't really work out in the box office. It was a complete flop. But I'm actually one of the rare things really quite had a fun time with this one. Aaron Paul I thought was great. You also had Amuga Pooz was also in this. Micah Keaton, Dominic Cooper, Kid Cudi. So he had some other really cool supporting players as well. Uh, I wouldn't mind seeing them try to take another crack at this, but I actually had a fun time with the film. It's a shame that it didn't really get much love from audiences or critics, but I'm one of the rare folks who's not minding it. So, all right. Also turning 10, we got Tyler Perry's Single Moms Club. When their children faces expulsion because the rule infraction, five single moms must agree to organize the school's upcoming dance and fundraiser. Now, it's also a really cool cast that includes the likes of Nia Long, Wendy McClure-Covey, Coco Brown, Terry Crews, Amy Smart. This is not really one of Tyler Perry's best works or anything. Far better than what we just had recently with Mia Copo. Come on. Uh, but that aside, this is actually a pretty decent little film. Like all of the moms I thought had great chemistry. From Nia Long to Amy Smart. Really charming. Definitely has lots of charm to it. Great cast. So if you guys haven't seen it, I'd say give it a go. But to be honest, I still always prefer his Medea movies. I mean, yeah, but hey, some of his other non-Medea stuff could be good too. Not everyone, not all of his stuff. Like Nick Coppola was cool. Acrimony, yeah, not all of his stuff I've enjoyed, but for the most part, there are some I actually quite like. All right. Also turning 10, we got Bad Words. Now, this was actually the directorial debut by Jason Bateman. And if you guys don't know much about the story here, it's pretty much an R-rated comedy about Jason Bateman, who plays this middle-aged 8th grade dropout who enters the National Golden Spelling Bee through his Idaho. It also stars the likes of Catherine Hahn, Rowan Chen, Ben Falcone, Allison Janney, and this was pretty much like, let's say, in the mix of stuff like Bad Santa or Bad Teacher. Bad Words is a lot of fun. Like Jason Bateman definitely has a fun charm to him in this. His chemistry with Rowan Chen, who you might remember was like Adam Sandler's adopted kid in Jack and Jill. He also played Mowgli in not the Jon Favreau Jungle Book, but the one that premiered on Netflix a couple years ago. This is actually this is really hilarious. It definitely has lots of charm to it too. Jason Bateman is hilarious in this as well. I mean, he has a major foul mouth here. Catherine Hahn is great. If you guys have not seen Bad Words, it is tragically underrated, but it is funny, nonetheless. All right, also turning 10, we got Veronica Mars. Now, this is, of course, based on the very popular TV show with Kristen Bell. Now, here it stars Kristen Bell as a title character, along with like supporting cast from the original series. It's set 9 years after the events of the series finale. Plot follows Veronica Mars returning to her hometown in Neptune to investigate the death of her former classmate, allegedly murdered by Mars's ex-boyfriend Logan Rose. Now, of course, the original Veronica Mars, which of course won lots of Teen Choice Awards. I can't remember if they won any Emmys or got any Emmy love. But the original Veronica Mars is really decent. Now, if you guys don't remember, that's the reason this Veronica Mars movie actually happened. It actually got made because of the fans donating. Like, if you guys remember, there was like the GoFundMe thing, and I guess they didn't have enough money because I guess the producers are not having enough money, so they decided to actually had the fans in on to donate to get this movie made. I still feel like that's really odd. I mean, you guys literally have a lot of money, like count fans to get this movie made. I cannot really call the actually ever did that. I think Zach Braff did that one time too. I'm like, that's odd, but that aside, Veronica Mars movie wasn't so bad though. Like you had Kristen Bell popping up, which obviously great. You know, you even had like Max Greenfield hearing this. It was cool to see some of the original cast members here. I know it was a lot of fun to check out. So if you guys have not seen the Veronica Mars movie, do yourself a favor, give it a go. It's a really good one. All right, now of course we got Dune Part Two that just got released. But 10 years ago, there was another Dennis Villeneuve movie that got released in March, and this is probably my least favorite film of his, and that is Enemy. Now this is of course an A24 film that stars Jake Gyllenhaal as well as Melanie Laurent, and Sarah Gadon. It stars Jake Gyllenhaal in a dual role as two men um, who are physically identical but different personalities. Now, of course, this was actually Denis Villeneuve's follow-up to the 2019 movie Prisoners, which is actually, all due respect to the Doom movies, all due respect to Sicario or Blade Runner 2049, my favorite Denis Villeneuve film will always be Prisoners. But if I gotta say my least favorite film of his, definitely Enemy. I remember watching Enemy at the time because it was like I said, at the time it was Denis Villeneuve's follow up to Prisoners, and which also had Gyllenhaal in it. Um, so I was like, I'm just seeing another film of his. So I decided to check out Enemy. I wasn't all that thrilled by it. I just found it completely boring. Really didn't do anything for me. I think he actually did this before he did Prisoners, if I'm not mistaken. But still, this really wasn't all that great at all. So thank God Denis Villeneuve came back with stuff like Arrival and obviously Pretty Hot Now thanks to the Dune franchise. But not every one of his films I've enjoyed. Now this actually does have its fans, but yeah, I'm not one of them. All right. Now films turning 20 this week. Oh boy, not the first film, but its sequel, and that is Agent Cody Banks 2 Destination London. Now, this stars Frankie Muniz with Anthony Anderson, Hannah Barrett, who you might remember played like Jennifer Tilly's assistant, who from Sea of Chucky, who ends up getting, let's say, burnt by Glenn and Glenda, or I should say, fried. You also had like Keith David was also in this. I was forgetting. Now, it does take place in London with Cody and his buffoonish adult partner Derek trying to recover a stolen software and stop the activation of the government's mind control project. Now, the original Agent Cody Banks with Frankie Muniz, Hilary Duff, is it's a childhood favorite. I mean, I remember really enjoying the original Agent Cody Banks. It was pretty much like a kid version of, let's say, James Bond. But they decided to do a sequel, which could have been good, but this was not great at all. It definitely did not have the same charm as the original. It really didn't do anything for me. So, yeah, they never did an Agent Cody Banks 3, but after this, it's all good. All right. Also turning 10, we've got Secret Window, which is directed by David Koepp, who, of course, is a writer on Jurassic Park, Spider-Man. This is based on a book by Stephen King. And if you guys don't know much about the story here, it stars Johnny Depp and John Turturro. The story appeared in King's 1990 collection of Past Midnight. The film is about a successful writer in the midst of a painful divorce is stalked by a remote lake house. Is stalked at his remote lake house by a would-be scribe who accuses him of plagiarism. What is Stephen King and writes? I guess he's a writer himself, but he always makes a lot of stories about writers. Whether it's like Misery, I can't remember other ones, but I mean, this is actually not one though. Seeing Johnny Depp in the Stephen King adaptation was always really cool. John Turturro was really decent in this too. I can't remember who else was in this, but it's been a while since I've seen Secret Window, but it's actually not a bad little thriller. Lots of crazy twists and turns around. Johnny Depp, John